This week in Michigan football history with Professor Greg Dooley.
Good evening. Tonight's opponent, Rutgers, famously won the first college football game ever played in 1869. But did you know Michigan won the first game played in the West? Indeed, Team 1 prevailed by a narrow margin of 1-0 over Racine College 10 years later in 1879. As the MEECHIGAN football program grew in both success and prowess, the Wolverines played on many different fields over the first several decades. As we headed into the 1920s, we started to consider building a new structure to house our home games. We were relatively late to the notion of building a stadium, as Illinois, Minnesota, and even Ohio State already had their large-scale pigskin cathedrals on campus. At first, then coach and athletic director Fielding H Yost was reluctant to invest in a whole new stadium. He supported just expanding old Ferry Field to add more seats. But in his role as AD, he found himself responding to letter after letter of angry fans not able to buy the tickets they wanted. In modern terms, Yost was surrendering millions of dollars in lost potential ticket sales. So he changed his mind and decided to go after a stadium. And when Yost puts his mind to something, watch out. Yost battled the academic establishment in Ann Arbor, who despised the football program and detested the notion of U of M entering an athletic campus arms race. Yost went toe-to-toe with concerned regents, and he rallied students and alums about the idea. With his artfully crafted words, he persuaded powerful newspaper and media voices. On top of all this, Yost financed the build with public money. He issued 3% bonds that provided investors with premium seats in the proposed stadium. Yost got it done, and his big house was completed in 1927. It was on this day in Michigan football history that season that we traveled to the Windy City and defeated the University of Chicago and their famed coach, Amos Alonzo Stagg. Like Yost, Stagg was facing a grumpy set of alums unable to meet the ticket demand for his fans. But while Stagg was a great coach, he didn't possess Yost's superpowers of persuasion, and he failed to get support for a new Chicago stadium. Eventually, Stagg was forced to retire, and as far as Chicago, well, they eventually quit football and left the Big Ten entirely. Michigan survived and thrived, and tonight is ready to put a beat down on the team that played in the first college football game. So go blue. Beat the Scarlet Knights. For more, check out mvictors.com and WTKA.com. For the KeyBank Countdown to Kickoff, this is Professor Greg Dooley.